Have you ever stopped mid-stairs, clutching your chest, wondering if your heart can handle just one more flight? Do you wake up at 3 a.m., not from dreams, but from a pounding in your chest? That terrifying rhythm that feels off? You lie in the dark, counting beats, afraid to fall asleep. Afraid it might be your last. You're not alone. Every day, millions of us swallow another pill. One for blood pressure, one for cholesterol, one to thin the blood. A handful of chemicals, half a pension gone, and still, the fear remains. Why is it that the more we treat, the worse we feel? I'm Dr. Edward. I'm 92 years old. And after more than 60 years as a heart surgeon, I've learned one truth. We are not sick from a lack of pills. We are sick because we've forgotten how to nourish the heart. What I'm about to share with you is not from a textbook. It's not from a pharmaceutical rep. This is a time-tested remedy passed to me decades ago by my mentor, who received it directly from the legendary Soviet cardiac surgeon, academician Nikolai Amosov. This isn't some trendy health hack. It's a heart-healing porridge that Amosov himself ate every morning until his final days. Not just to survive, but to thrive. And today, I will show you exactly how to make it, step by step, in your kitchen, with ingredients you can find in any store. But more importantly, I'll explain why it works. I'll show you how it gently revives your blood vessels, nourishes your cardiac muscle, and helps your heart beat steadily, without the side effects. Please, watch until the very end. There's one ingredient, one secret that you've never heard from your doctor, and it might just change your life. Let me tell you what they don't teach in medical school, and what your doctor probably won't say. Most heart medications, they're crutches, not cures. Take blood pressure pills, for example. They don't fix the cause. They force your arteries open, yes, but the vessels are still stiff, inflamed, fragile. Blood thinners, they change the texture of your blood, but they don't address why your blood is so thick in the first place. These drugs are like painting over a crack in the wall, while the foundation crumbles beneath. And worse, while you're chasing normal numbers on a screen, your liver, kidneys, and stomach are under constant chemical attack. You treat the heart and poison the rest. Sound familiar? You feel tired, not just from age, but from this invisible war inside your body. Every day is a balance between hope and fear, between following orders and silently wondering, is this all there is? But it doesn't have to be that way. Academician Amosov saw this decades ago. He wasn't just a heart surgeon. He was a philosopher of health. He believed that the root of disease wasn't age or fate, but neglect. Nutritional neglect, movement neglect, nature neglect. He used to say, doctors treat consequences, not causes. So he designed a daily ritual, a food-based therapy, something powerful enough to clean your arteries, nourish your heart, and restore balance to a system that had lost its way. And the results? Quietly miraculous. In just a moment, I'll show you exactly how to make what he called the 7-warrior heart porridge. But first, let's expose the silent killers hiding in your kitchen. So what did Amosov rely on to protect his heart, when he had already seen thousands fail on the operating table? Not expensive drugs, not complex procedures, but 7 simple ingredients, each with a powerful mission. Let me introduce you to the Magnificent 7, your heart's rescue team. 1. Dried apricots, the silent healer of the heart. When patients used to come to me complaining of a heart that skipped, stumbled, or pounded out of rhythm, I never started with a prescription pad. I asked them one simple question. How much potassium do you eat? Most didn't know, many didn't care, until I told them the truth. Without potassium, your heart is like a drummer who's lost his rhythm. And that strange fluttering in your chest, the skipped beat, the sudden jolt that wakes you up at night, that's not just aging, that's a deficiency. Now, let me tell you about dried apricots. Not the bright orange ones soaked in sulfur dioxide, but real, dark, unsweetened dried apricots. To the untrained eye, they look ordinary. But to a heart surgeon, they are liquid gold in solid form. Why? Because dried apricots contain more potassium than almost any other food. And potassium is the mineral that regulates your heartbeat, relaxes your arteries, and lowers dangerous blood pressure spikes, naturally. Without potassium, your heart muscles contract erratically, your vessels constrict, your blood pressure climbs, and worst of all, your arrhythmia gets worse with every passing week. But with a handful of dried apricots each day, You're feeding your heart what it truly needs. You're restoring order to a chaotic rhythm. You're calming the storm inside your chest without a single pill. Amosov himself insisted on dried apricots as the first ingredient in his heart paste. He said, "If your heart is the engine, potassium is the oil." So here's what I want you to do. Buy 200 grams of unsulfured dried apricots, soft, dark, real. Soak them in hot water for 15 minutes to remove dust and preservatives. Let them dry a bit. Then get ready. We'll grind them into your medicine soon. This is not just dried fruit. This is step 1 toward a steadier, stronger, quieter heart. 2. Raisins, the humble protector of your vessels and mind. They sit quietly on grocery shelves, overlooked, underestimated. Just raisins. But let me tell you a truth I've seen play out in the lives of countless patients. Simple foods, used wisely, can prevent the most tragic endings. Let me ask you, have you ever forgotten why you walked into a room? Have you stood in the kitchen, looking at your hands, trying to remember what you came to do? That fading clarity isn't just age. It's the silent cry of your brain and your blood vessels, begging for help. Here's where raisins come in. Not the shiny, sugar-coated ones sold in glossy packages, but dark, natural, sun-dried raisins. Small, yes, but packed with glucose and a rare mineral most people don't even know they need, boron. Now, glucose feeds your brain. It's the fuel of mental clarity. But boron is the real unsung hero. Boron tells your body how to use calcium properly. It whispers to your bones, hold on to this mineral. And it tells your arteries, don't take it, don't let it harden here. Because when calcium goes to the wrong place, when it leaves your bones and starts sticking to your artery walls, you get arterial calcification. That's how stiff, brittle, deadly blood vessels form. I've opened chests where arteries looked like glass, fragile, ready to crack. And do you know what's behind that? Misplaced calcium. And what helps fix it? Boron, found in raisins. Amosov knew this. He didn't just include raisins for their taste. He called them the mind, sugar, and the arteries guide. So here's what you do. Take 200 grams of natural dark raisins, not coated, not shiny. Soak them in hot water for 10-15 minutes to wash away residues. Dry lightly and set aside. Soon you'll combine them with the others, but even alone, a small handful daily can sharpen your mind, support your bones, and keep your arteries from turning to stone. They're not just dried grapes. They're vessel softeners, memory savers, and one of your heart's quietest allies. 3. Prunes, the gentle scrubber of your arteries. You've heard it before. Prunes are for digestion. And yes, they help keep things moving. But if that's all you think they do, you're missing their greatest power. Let me share a story. Years ago, I had a patient, a retired teacher, 78 years old. Sharp mind, kind smile. But her cholesterol levels were dangerously high. Not just the numbers on paper. Her arteries were already narrowed, hardened, and tired. She asked me, "Doctor, is there anything besides pills?" I told her, "Yes, but you'll have to look at food as medicine." She did. And prunes were at the top of her new prescription. Why? Because prunes are the liver's best friend. And your liver, whether you know it or not, is your heart's first line of defense. See? It's the liver's job to filter cholesterol, to take the bad stuff out before it ever sticks to your blood vessels. But over time, especially with modern diets, too much sugar, not enough fiber, the liver slows down. It gets clogged, tired, just like your pipes at home. And that's when LDL cholesterol starts building up in your arteries like rust, layer by layer, day by day, until one day the blood can't pass freely. That's when the real danger begins. But prunes, they go to work gently, quietly, every day. They stimulate bile flow, help the liver process fats more efficiently, and escort bad cholesterol out of the body before it becomes a threat. Amosov called prunes the street sweeper of the bloodstream. Not aggressive, not sudden, but steadfast. So here's your next step. Take 200 grams of soft organic prunes. Soak in hot water for 10-15 minutes to remove coatings. Rinse, pat dry, and prepare to grind them with the others. These little black fruits aren't just for regularity, they're for longevity, they're for clean arteries, and they're for anyone who wants to prevent the tragedy of a sudden, silent blockage. Don't underestimate them. Nature gave us the tools. We just have to use them. 4. Figs, the quiet warrior against blood clots. Do you ever worry about stroke? About a clot forming silently, traveling through your bloodstream, and suddenly robbing you of speech, movement, even your memories? That's the nightmare, isn't it? It doesn't announce itself. It doesn't knock. It just arrives and changes everything in a second. I've seen it far too many times. And I've also seen something else. How a simple fruit can shift that story. Let me introduce you to figs, perhaps the most underestimated medicine in your kitchen. They're soft, sweet, almost luxurious, but don't be fooled by their taste. Figs contain something extraordinary, phycin, a natural enzyme that quietly and effectively reduces the viscosity of your blood. Now, why is that important? Because as we age, our blood tends to thicken. Less water, more sugar, less movement, more stress. Thicker blood flows slower. It strains the heart. It clogs easier. And worst of all, it clumps. Clots form. Your body, your brain, your heart, they all become vulnerable. But phycin, found in ripe figs, gently thins the blood. Not like synthetic drugs that hammer your system and carry the risk of bleeding. Figs work in harmony with your body. They improve circulation, reduce clot risk, and lighten the load on your heart. Amosov used to say, the best protection is prevention. And prevention lives in your plate. So here's what to do. Take 200 grams of soft dried figs. Avoid those coated in sugar or preservatives. Soak in hot water for 15 minutes, rinse, and let them rest. Figs are more than fruit. They are silent guardians of your bloodstream, ensuring that nothing gets stuck, blocked, or trapped. One patient of mine, a former jazz pianist, started adding figs to his daily mix. After 6 months, his doctor took him off his blood-thinning medication, not because he ignored the problem, but because he nourished the solution. You can too. Your heart doesn't just need a rhythm, it needs a river. Smooth, flowing, clean. Figs help keep that river alive. 5. Walnuts, the architect of flexible arteries. Have you ever looked at a walnut? Really looked? Its shape, its folds. It mirrors the human brain. Yes. But it also tells a deeper story. One of structure, resilience, and intelligent design. When I was a young surgeon, we often opened the chests of elderly patients to find something tragic. Blood vessels like dry twigs, rigid, brittle, and ready to snap. No medicine in the world could reverse decades of neglect. But over time, I noticed a pattern. Patients who ate walnuts regularly, not as a snack, but as a daily ritual, had something different. Their arteries were pliable. Their vessel walls didn't crack under pressure. Their hearts responded better to treatment. They aged, but with grace, not decay. Why? Because walnuts are one of the richest plant sources of omega-3 fatty acids, the exact kind your blood vessels crave to stay elastic, strong, and youthful. Think of your arteries as garden hoses. When they're young and healthy, they bend and flex. But when they're inflamed and dry from years of bad fats and poor nutrition, they stiffen, they scar, they trap cholesterol like flypaper traps flies. And that's when the danger builds. Silently. Omega-3s reverse that stiffness. They reduce inflammation, soften the walls, and make it harder for cholesterol to stick and form dangerous plaques. Amosov once told me, if your vessels can bend, they won't break. He was right. So here's what I want you to do. Take 200 grams of raw, unsalted walnuts. Whole, clean, no coatings. Don't roast them. Don't blend them with sugar. Just soak them briefly in warm water to soften, then dry them gently. You'll grind them soon with the rest. But even by themselves, a few walnuts a day can be the difference between a resilient system and a fragile one. This is not just a healthy fat. This is structural medicine, food that builds flexibility into your most vital highways, the arteries that feed your heart, brain, and every cell in between. Don't wait for the crack to come. Feed your vessels what they're made of. 6. Lemon with peel, the shield against cellular decay. When people think of lemons, they think of sourness. Maybe a splash in tea, a slice in water. But in the world of healing, lemon is not a garnish, it's armor. Let me ask you something deeply personal. Do you ever feel like your energy is fading faster than it should? That your skin bruises easily, your gums bleed a little, and cuts heal more slowly than before? That's not just age, that's oxidative stress, the slow, invisible fire that burns through your cells day by day. And the heart? It suffers in silence. Every heartbeat is a tiny explosion of energy, and over the decades, free radicals build up like rust on iron. So how do we protect the most vital engine in your body? With the peel of the lemon. Yes, not just the juice, not just the pulp. The peel is where the real medicine lives. It's rich in bioflavonoids, plant compounds that work hand in hand with vitamin C to form a shield around your cells. These antioxidants do three critical things. They prevent the breakdown of artery walls. They stop cholesterol from oxidizing, which is the first step in plaque formation. They support collagen production, which keeps your vessels flexible and your valves strong. Amosov insisted on using the entire lemon, skin and all. He said, "Why throw away the armor and only drink the juice?" He believed, and science now confirms, that the lemon peel contains 5 to 10 times more antioxidants than the juice itself. So here's what to do. Take one whole organic lemon, wash it thoroughly, scrub the peel clean, cut it into small pieces. Yes, with the peel. Remove the seeds but keep everything else. You'll grind it with the rest. But remember, this is not just for taste. This is your defense against aging, inflammation, and decay. Lemon doesn't just freshen your palate, it freshens your cells. It tells your heart you're protected, you're safe. And in a world that constantly wears us down, that's a message worth sending. 7. Raw honey, the golden messenger of healing. Some people say, honey is just sugar. But those people have never held a spoonful of real, raw honey in their mouth and felt it melt into their bloodstream like sunlight through the clouds. Let me tell you something very few doctors talk about. Medicine is useless if it doesn't reach where it's needed. And in the orchestra of healing, honey is the conductor, guiding every note, every nutrient directly to the cells that are calling for help. See, raw honey isn't just sweet. It's a biological transporter, a carrier that binds with minerals, antioxidants, and plant compounds and delivers them through your bloodstream faster and more efficiently than almost any other food. It's also a natural preservative. When mixed with the dried fruits, nuts, and lemon in Amosov's heart paste, it keeps the mixture fresh, potent, and full of life, without any chemicals. But let's go deeper. Raw honey is loaded with enzymes, amino acids, and trace minerals. The kind of subtle, quiet nourishment that doesn't make headlines but builds resilience over time. It soothes inflammation, especially in the lining of your arteries. It boosts nitric oxide production, helping vessels relax and widen. It supports immune balance, guarding your heart against low-grade infections that can weaken your valves. But here's the catch, not all honey is healing. The kind you find in plastic bears on supermarket shelves. That's often pasteurized, filtered, and diluted with corn syrup. What you need is 200 grams of raw, unfiltered honey, preferably from a trusted local beekeeper. It should be thick, maybe even crystallized. That's a good sign. Stir it gently into your ground heart paste. Don't heat it, don't whip it. This is not just an ingredient. It's the glue that unites the healing power of the other 6. The train that carries their gifts to your heart, brain, vessels, and even your spirit. Amosov called honey God's medicine in golden form, and I believe that with all my heart. So when you take your first spoonful of the completed heart paste, feel the honey, taste the life in it, because it's not just feeding your body, it's delivering hope. Now that you've met each of the 7 warriors, now that you've cleaned, soaked, and prepared every single ingredient with care, there's just one final step: transformation. This isn't just a recipe, it's a ritual. It's your chance to take control, to say, enough pills, enough fear. Let me feed my heart the way nature intended. Here's exactly what to do. The final preparation. Grind all the soaked and dried ingredients: apricots, raisins, prunes, figs, walnuts, and the whole lemon, using a meat grinder. Important, do not use a blender or food processor. Amosov insisted on the old-fashioned grinder. Why? Because high-speed blades heat and oxidize the mixture, destroying vital enzymes. A grinder keeps the structure alive. Add 200 grams of raw honey to the thick, fragrant mixture. Mix thoroughly with a wooden spoon until it becomes a golden brown, sticky, vibrant paste, alive with scent, texture, and energy. Transfer it into a clean glass jar. Seal tightly, store in the refrigerator. This paste will stay fresh for weeks, but you'll likely finish it faster. How to take it the heart schedule. Amosov's exact protocol was clear. 1 tablespoon 3 times per day. Always on an empty stomach, at least 30 minutes before meals. Never swallow it right away. Instead, hold the spoonful under your tongue. Let it melt slowly. Let the enzymes and minerals absorb through the sublingual veins straight into your bloodstream. This is not dessert. This is delivery directly to your heart. A simple daily routine. Morning before breakfast. Wakes up the heart gently, sets your rhythm for the day. Midday before lunch. Boosts circulation, supports digestion, keeps energy steady. Evening before dinner. Calms the body, nourishes tired vessels, promotes deep sleep. This isn't magic, it's not fast, it's natural medicine, and nature works gently, gradually, but powerfully. In 2 weeks, you'll notice your breath deepening. In a month, your heartbeat will feel more stable. Your blood pressure may start to normalize. And above all, your fear will begin to fade. This is not just a paste. It's your new foundation, built from the wisdom of generations, brought back to life, in your own kitchen. Let me leave you with this. We live in a world where everything moves too fast, where silence is rare and true care, even from doctors, feels like a luxury. But your heart, it's with you every second. It never rests. It asks for so little and gives you everything. So ask yourself, is 5 minutes a day too much to give back? 5 minutes to mix these 7 simple foods. 5 minutes to honor the rhythm inside your chest. 5 minutes to choose nourishment over numbness. This heart paste is not just a recipe. It's a reminder that healing doesn't have to hurt, that wisdom lives in simplicity, that the answers are often already in your kitchen, not your pharmacy. I've seen what happens when people take this seriously. I've watched blood pressure stabilize. I've seen eyes light up with clarity. I've heard laughter return to homes where fear once lived. And now it's your turn. Here's what you can do right now. Go back and write down the 7 ingredients. Prepare the mixture. Today, not tomorrow. And start the ritual. 1 spoon, 3 times a day. But don't stop there. Subscribe to this channel, because in the next videos, I'll be sharing more forgotten remedies, more truths your doctor might never tell you. And if you know someone, a friend, a neighbor, a loved one, who's scared about their heart, share this video with them, because your one click, your one comment could save a life. I'm Dr. Edward. I'm 92. I've held thousands of beating hearts in my hands, but the one that matters most is yours. Take care of it. It's the only one you have.